signs for Cloud9. So, okay, let's talk about their first pick. So, Alex, right? IGL. Arguably top. I would put him up in the top 5 IGLs in the world right now. And here's why. Because when he was IGL in Vitality, they were a top 2 team in the world, right? We could all agree that top 3. Let's just say top 3. That means the guy knows what he's doing. Who would you consider top 5? Glaive, Blame F. Who else? Let's go. Talk to me. I'd put Stanislaw in the top 5 as well. To me, Alex is top 5 because he quit while he was in the top 5, so we don't really know. And Stu is too new as an IGL to really like judge it yet. You gotta do more. You gotta see more out of him. Alex, top 5 IGL. Mizzy, never heard of the kid ever in my life. Okay, but I'm assuming he's insane because the stats here don't really tell the whole story. But I mean, first off, it's interesting that Henryg, the British man himself, the Brit, first 2 recruits are British players. Now, let me tell you something about British CS, okay? In CS Source, British CS was like top tier CS. Like, it was like, other than like America and France being like the top 2 like regions, I would put fucking a British CS right there up there in the top 3 the whole time. So, British Source teams were insane. They were really, really good. They were all really good, really skilled, and they brought a lot. CSGO comes out, and the Brits disappear. No one knows why. No one knows why. They didn't transition to Go as good as well as you would think. All of them kind of just vanished. They used to have like top players on top teams as well, and they all just vanished. None of them were good. So now this could be good. This could be like finally the British CS Source players, or not CS, or the British CS community is starting to get better. So that's good. The other thing is, in Source as well, they were kind of late to the party as well. So this is kind of reminiscent of what they did to Source. But then towards the end of Source, they were the best team. I think the British team was the best team in the world towards the end of Source at the time. Watch it. This guy is insane. He's clearly the best player announced so far on the team. I don't know who the other 2 are going to be, but in terms of firepower, this guy has it all. Okay. Now, I did hear a little bit of rumors about him as a teammate being a little toxic, but those are just rumors at the end of the day. No one will know unless someone from his former team comes out and says it, and they talk about it. But I think Woxic is a good hybrid player. He could do anything. He could op, he could rifle, he could lurk, he could entry, he could literally do it all. This is a player that you want on your team because he's going to give you instant firepower. Now, later on, in terms of how they mesh well, remember, they're going to be speaking English. Woxic seems to be speaking good English. I think is good. And obviously, their coach is fucking world-renowned. I think their coach is going to be good. I think coaches nowadays are a lot more important than before. And I think a good coach that could keep all egos and everyone in check is really good for the team. Plus, Henryg as a GM is pretty cool. Speaking of Henryg, he was amongst the top Source players at the time that played. So Henryg is clearly he's trying to bring the British CSGO scene up to par. And I think like hopefully this guy Mezzi is just like a really good player. So I'm wishing him luck. I want him to do. Next 2 players. This is going to be interesting because I've heard rumblings of maybe Nico, but then Nico's going to go to... Apparently Nico's going to G2, which would be cool for G2. But who gets cut from G2? People are saying Aminik. Aminik could join Cloud9 and be decent for them right now too. Another thing I'm looking at now is there's just a lot. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent that could. Okay, so everyone's talking about JKS. Like, are people just saying JKS should join because he's stuck on 100 Thieves and the team isn't performing well, or is JKS actually trying to leave actively, or he wants to leave, or he's unhappy? Do we know that, or are you just throwing his name out there because he's just a guy that looks like he's getting carried, or that looks like he's carrying his team? Because JKS has been on that team, the former Renegades roster, forever. So I don't see him just up and leaving them to be like on a Cloud9 team, like, because this team right now, it's very much like Complexity was, right? Complexity came out with a roster that everyone thought was going to be a joke, And that roster ended up right now they're like the top fucking 5 world, I think. Like I don't even know exactly where they are in the world rankings, but yeah, they're top 5 right now. That's insane. Like you guys gotta understand. Jason Lake and company made a roster from scratch. They recruited unknown players from around the world and put them together, and they actually did what they said. They built a juggernaut, and they've been dominating people. The problem is here is Nico. If Nico joins, he can't be IGL, which is good. We know Alex is the IGL. You want Alex IGL in, okay? You wanna give Alex the chance to IGL. Okay. So watch like so they got this guy. Like this is kind of a steal. If this kid ends up being really fucking good, this is kind of a steal right here. For like $83,000 like transfer fee. I don't know what team he was on before, but like 426. That's including the transfer fee in it, right? I'm assuming because he usually says that. But if that's the salary, that's what 140,000. That's like you guys think, oh, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and it's a lot of money in a lot of places in the world. But that if this kid ends up being like a fucking superstar, they're paying him what is that? 10K a month? 10K, like something like that, right? 10K a month. Whereas top players on top teams are getting like well above 30,000 nowadays. You know what I mean? There's 25 to 30 easy all day long. Like that's the average. The averages right now is like 25-ish, maybe 30-ish. Some of them are even I'm hearing up to 40. Yeah, Hamas, he can renegotiate, but he's strapped in a 3-year contract. So like, I mean, he could be unhappy, but he's still. They could just say no. And CLOUD9 isn't like CLOUD9. I'll tell you something about CLOUD9. They're a great organization and they're ran really strict. Jack, the owner of CLOUD9, I recall back in the day when CLOUD9, the team with Sean Dare, Shroud, and them, where they were making like $2,000 a month, and then everyone else's salaries went up like crazy to like 6, 7, 8, 10K, and the CLOUD9 guy, the owner, didn't. I think he didn't renegotiate with them until their contract was done. Then he renegotiated a salary. So he wasn't keen on, hey, let's renegotiate now because everyone else is getting paid. So I don't think this kid is going to have much of negotiating power. Now, if he's really, really insane and he threatens that he's going to just sit out or quit, maybe there's that. But that you got to be like simple type status to demand that kind of renegotiation, you know? So it's still, I think it's a steal if he's good. If he's actually fucking like a top 20 player HLTV stats at the end of the year, like this, or not, probably not the end of this year because we're already pretty much at the end of the year, but like starting 2021, if he's like insane, I think this is a really good pickup and I think it's a steal. Waxic, on the other hand, says here, Waxic's deal's a little rough because it says deal value. See, it's weird, like, I don't know why they tell us here the fee. Okay, I can understand why you're not telling us the transfer fee, but don't say deal value. Tell us just salary. That's easier. I don't care about the. We can assume that they paid $500,000 for Waxic. Okay, we can assume that. Tell me what the salary is here. I'm assuming the salary here. I'm assuming it's 900K. Okay, so let's calculate that. That's 300K a year. For Waxic, 300 divided by 12. Okay, so Waxic, his monthly income is roughly $25,000 a month. Okay. There's no way you're gonna make return on 25. Oh, plugged-in. I don't understand. I don't think you understand how much money is just injected into esports. Now listen to me. I agree with you. Paying in crazy salaries, but here's what happens, right? It's not about the ROI for the investors in terms of cash flow. It's the ROI for investors in terms of how big the org gets, and when they sell it to someone else, how much money they make on their investment. So CLOUD9 right now is like over $100 million worth of value. Like some people are saying, I think there's talks of it being closer to $500 million, $500 million, the value of this, right? So when these investors come into CLOUD9 early and they invest their money, they're not trying to make a monthly cash flow out of it. They just leave their money in there. But what they're hoping is that Cloud9 sells for $1 billion in the future. Right now, like what's Cloud9's worth right now? 400 million here. So I was right. It's close to 500. There's a NRG, and I know you could say, well, these are just values inflated. This means like right now, someone will go in, a big fucking investment firm or a venture capitalist firm will come in and they might fucking buy Cloud9 straight up for $500 million. Okay, that's how investors make their money. It's not, hey, how much am I making a month off my hunt? Like if I invest $10 million into Cloud9, what am I getting monthly? Nothing, probably nothing. They're probably working at a loss, to be honest. But the value of it, of the brand, is so big that that's how they make their money. Is when they sell or when they decide to keep getting more investment and just growing their fucking brand. Plus, Cloud9 merch, I could argue, is the probably sells amongst the top 3 orgs in the world, right? Like I've actually seen people in public wearing Cloud9 shirts in my city that I've like, I don't know how they know about Cloud9. I don't know who they're fans of, but I've seen Cloud9 shirts on the street being worn by multiple people in my life. So it's definitely a well-known brand. So this guy's a credible source. Okay, this isn't bad at all. All right. Cloud9 analysis with Alex assumed buyout. Oh, okay, Alex's assumed buyout and salary figures. Okay. So he's assuming these. Again, this is assumptions, but still, this guy probably has better assumptions than me because this guy probably pays attention to the scene more. So let's go by this guy's numbers. 38K a month for Alex right now. That's insane. Okay. I don't know. I feel like Watson could have demanded the same salary, but who knows, right? Because look at his transfer fee. Watson was more expensive. But I guess this is going to be like Alex's team, right? Oh no, 250 for Alex is definitely something they did, 100%. These salaries are really good for them. Like, but I'm saying, like, look how different it is. Like, imagine if this guy's your best player, Messi, you're getting him for $12,000. You're getting a steal on him. So this is a good, all around good deal for Cloud9. Now this is where it gets a little iffy. Like you're investing almost 40 grand a month into Alex, and you're investing almost 30,000 a month into Watson, right? This is gonna be crazy. Like I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but we'll see. We can't judge it until we see the entire 5 playing together and give them time. Because complexity, let complexity be the main lesson here. Complexity, everyone laughed at them when they were announced, and they're insane, and they stuck together and they did it. Isn't it crazy how esports, like, god damn it, dude. I part of me wishes like that. Nah, I don't have any regrets in life. I'm happy. I have a beautiful family. Have a beautiful daughter, beautiful son, beautiful wife. I'm happy. I don't regret anything. I was gonna say that I wish esports was at this level when I was a pro gamer, because it would have been a real crazy thing to be able to like make this kind of fucking insane money and travel the world like that. Like we used to, like, to put it into perspective, 2004 to 2006, 2005 to 2006, I had a salary, I swear to God, $300 a month. It started at $150 a month, and then it got doubled to $300 a month. Literally, that was my salary. Then CGS came along, and then we were getting $2,500 a month, and we thought we were fucking ballers. Wow, $2,500 a month, that's insane. Wow, I can't believe it, right? And now look at it, dude. Now these guys are getting more than $2,500 a week. Simple probably earns less than Watson. Yeah, but Simple's gonna probably, like, that's what I don't understand. Like, how much is Simple's too comfortable? He's comfortable in Navi. Like, they're probably gonna be able to keep him there forever. He already tried going to Liquid. He tried going to other places. Like, he's comfortable. Liquid Navi can probably get away with underpaying Simple for the rest of his career. He just wants to stay in he wants to stay in Ukraine. He doesn't want to go anywhere.